So here's something I wanted to address, and it's movement types. There are three, well, quite a few different movement types, but I'm going to go over the three most basic and show examples of the three types, which are automatic, manual wind, and quartz. Now, quartz has different variations. There's like mecha quartz, there's solar quartz, there's fucking a bunch of quartz. But I'm just going to go over the basic battery versus automatic. So battery, rotor, no rotor, essentially. And I'll show you movements and examples of what each do and why one's more superior than the other, but let's get into it. Let's start off with the one everybody knows and loves, a quartz watch. Now, a quartz watch obviously has been around possibly the longest. Weirdly enough, I'm wearing a quartz watch right now, but quartz watches are really good. I have quite a few of them. They're a little easier to attain than automatic or mechanical watches, manual wind watches. I have an example I'm going to put up on the screen now, but at the end, I'll go over, obviously, the watch, but what its benefits are and what the history and stuff. But here's the picture, or video, rather. As you've seen, that watch is very familiar because it's one I've restored on the channel during one of our lives. And pretty cool. It is a quartz movement. It's railroad approved, which means it's really, really accurate. Yes, the second hands are off, but I'm too lazy to kind of fix that up. But fully quartz, really good watch. I don't even remember where I was going with that. So basically how a quartz watch works is, I had to kind of look this up, but the battery kind of sends an electrical signal to a quartz crystal that vibrates a lot of times per second, hence making the watch work. Anyways, battery equals time. Now, people would say battery watches are way better than mechanical, but we all have our own opinion, and hopefully after this video, we can just kind of have you decide on what movement you like. And at the very end, I will kind of just tell you what my preference is. Now, like I said, it changes basically every day, but I do stick to one true one. Now on to our second kind of movement, mechanical or manual wind, as many are known. They are commonly seen in vintage watches, but I threw a modern manual wind one for the video. So I personally have quite a few manual wind watches, my newest being the Omega Silver Snoopy, 50th anniversary. Only reason it's manual wind is because of the complication on the back. Wouldn't work with an automatic movement, and I'll probably go into that another day, or maybe today, I don't know. But I'll show the clip of what goes down on the case back. So that's manual wind, but this one specifically, we'll just kind of get into that real quick. Now, manual wind watches work basically the exact same as automatic watches, just doesn't have the automatic feature. So every morning you have to wind it up. The accuracy is okay, I guess. But yeah, in my opinion, manual winds are a blessing and a curse. They're fun to work on. They're a little more, more challenging, but I find them a little more exquisite and beautiful if it has an open case back to where you can see that movement. But yes, with manual wind movements, you can do a lot more with complications, especially tricky, unique complications, since that automatic rotor doesn't get in the way. I'm not dogging on manual winds, kind of. Now, quartz watches are cool, but the ticking ain't the greatest. I hate it. It's super loud, and it's just not pleasant for me to see. I have quite a few, but mechanical and automatics are my personal preference. But let's move on to our next one, which leads me into my personal favorite. Automatic watches. Now, basically the exact same as a manual one, just with an automatic rotor, and I'll explain why after I show you a little clip of the one I chose. So that one we chose was I think a 1970s Oris Big Crown pointer date. Now, obviously the Big Crown is big, but this one's pretty cool because it has an open case back, and I'll show the video on that at the very end of the clear case back. It's pretty sick. But automatics mean, it's mechanical. It runs off of, mainspring, and it just can wind itself, so you don't have to worry about winding it every morning. But with automatics, I feel like sometimes it's more of a convenience than a necessity. Because you can just take off the automatic rotor and it still would wind. So you're basically getting a manual wind, but you're stacking an automatic rotor that does the winding for you. Hence the watch. But essentially, automatics, like I explained, just work with a manual wind movement. You just stack an automatic rotor on there. You can do the same things as a manual wind can with added complications and such. I'm going to show a picture of each version of movement, quartz, automatic, and manual wind right after this clip. So there they are. You pick your favorite, and yeah. So that's going to do it. Thanks for hanging out with me. Come hang out with me when I'm live at 8 to 10 p.m. on every day. I'm probably going to be late once again, but I'll try to be punctual. We do some watch stuff, ghost stuff, some guitar stuff, other stuff. Hang out. We just hang out for 2 hours. I showcase some of the watches. I get rage baited. I do a bunch of stuff. So thanks for hanging out. Take your pants off, Chris.